Hey guys, I'm Sebastian.
I'm Christine.
And this is This Week in Vegas,
the Ninth Island Connection podcast, where we bring you everything that's happening this week in Vegas. There you have it.
Straightforward.
Yep.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yep.
You're coming to Vegas this week or this weekend. This is what you need to know.
Yep. We're talking news. We're talking weather, events, any heads up on any crazy things going on here in Vegas. And of course, we got to throw a little bit of jackpots in there because who doesn't love to hear about a jackpot?
Hey guys, real fast before we get into this week's update, you know how we're always talking about how you can save money, and we're talking about happy hours and My Vegas stuff and locals coupons and all that kind of stuff. We've actually partnered with the Las Vegas Advisor to save you a ton of money in Vegas. Now, go to our website, ninthislandconnection.com. Click on the link that says Save Money. It's going to take you to this coupon book. It's a coupon book.
But they do have online.
They do have online coupons. And some of the coupons they have are like buy one, get one at the Palms Buffet with the all-you-can-eat lobster. That's in there. There's tons of free, again, that's a buy one, get one. And it's $80 per person for that one. So huge savings right there. The book does cost $50, but with our code NIC, you're going to save 10% on there. It's $45, but there's about $2,000 worth of value in there. We're talking free play, buy one, get ones, free drinks at the Legacy Club up there in Circa. There's a coupon for that. So check it out. If you like it, buy it, save some money. If not, no big deal.
All right, moving on into the news. Let's get to it.
All right, well, we have to talk about travel being down. And what a segue for travel being down. Is it because things are so expensive these days and the economy's kind of a little uncertain? But travel was down in the month of March.
Is it domestic or is it international travel?
All travel.
Okay.
Just all arrivals
Wow. Okay.
in Vegas were down in the month of March compared to last year, March. So we're not a political channel. We're not trying to politicize things. We all know the state of the country right now and things are uncertain. And we're seeing the result of that right here in Vegas with travel being down.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll see if things pick up, but who
Hopefully.
knows? We are kind of heading into the slower season of Vegas, which, I mean, technically there's not really a slow season in Vegas, but slower. Some times of the year are slower than others.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Moving on in our news, we've got news that Bottled Blonde is allegedly going to be open this summer. Now, that is a very vague opening date.
There's no date.
Yeah, because this summer, I mean, really, what does that mean? Like anytime before September, like
pools
21st?
are open in Vegas till like the second week of October.
Yeah.
So I feel like whenever it's hot, there's a summer mentality in Vegas.
Yeah. So, and if you're not familiar, Bottled Blonde is the building that has been in progress next to Ole Red in the Grand Bazaar shops right out of Horseshoe.
Yeah.
And they've been like building
since the first F1, like a couple years.
They've been, like they were like kind of right there building at the same time almost as Ole Red, which Ole Red opened January 2024.
Yeah.
So Bottled Blonde has just slowly been coming up. I know they were trying to, get open last fall. Clearly that didn't happen. And they said this spring. And now it's pushed to summer. But when Bottled Blonde does open, hopefully this summer it really happens. We're excited for it. They're going to have a 38-foot LED wall, 40-plus TVs. They're kind of trying to paint themselves as this sports and live entertainment venue. They'll have like DJs every night. They'll have live music. It's going to be 3 stories. So I think it'll be a really fun place. And that's going to be a really fun corner. And I'm looking forward to finally getting all that construction, because if you guys have walked through there, it is a mess. It's like been a tunnel for like years.
And then you have all the people like, hey, did you get free show tickets? You want dinner? Are you leaving? Are you checking in? Checking out?
Yes.
Want to go to a strip club? Like everybody there. Trying to give you free bracelets. Here's a bracelet.
Yes. And
buy my CD.
Yes. And it's like all just an awful cluster. And it's been that way for years. So I look forward to not only checking out Bottled Blonde, but I look forward to being able to move smoothly through that
Yes.
little corridor again. Hopefully that does happen this summer, but we'll keep you guys posted. So make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms, Ninth Island Connection, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And we also put reels here on our YouTube channel as well with those updates of what's happening more currently in Vegas. And of course, in this podcast, we're staying up on everything that's been going on to share with you guys. So another thing that's actually going to be opening, or is open, that we've been waiting on is the Miracle Eats inside of the Miracle Mile shops at Planet Hollywood. Now, that was supposed to be open by winter of last year, and there's been a delay.
Like summer of last year. It was like spring of last year, then summer, then winter.
Yeah.
And now it's open. So that was a long process because PH over there at the Miracle Mile, they did everything. They did the exterior.
Yeah.
They did the floors. They did the storefronts. They did lighting. They did paint. They did everything.
In the Miracle Mile, not necessarily Planet Hollywood.
Yeah,
I mean, well, Planet Hollywood did get rid of their ugly ass carpet. And then,
and the bar.
Yeah.
The heart bar is now the glass bar.
Yeah, so they did some cosmetic stuff inside of there too.
Yeah.
But most of the construction over there was within the Miracle Mile shops, and this was kind of like the grand finale of all that.
I really like this concept because the other Caesars properties that have this food hall type thing, they went away from food courts and went to food hall, which means you pay more for the same experience.
But it's exactly the same experience,
but
because
you kind of move through this.
They all have, but if you look at those Caesars properties, they have like, the Bobby's Burgers,
right.
Which are, overpriced burgers, and Buddy V's Pizza, and those type of things, Guy Fieri places. And so at least with this, there's some unique, like Lobster Me is back, Tacotarian,
vegetarian tacos.
Yeah. So, and there's, a pizza place. And there's different stuff that you're not going to see everywhere else at, like, copy paste at all the other Caesars properties. So, and that's probably because it's Miracle Mile, not Caesars.
Right, because Miracle Mile is not part of the Caesars family. It's just there. So it's kind of like the Forum shops at Caesars Palace. It's at Caesars Palace, but the Forum shops is independent. It's actually Simon Malls that manages that piece right there. So same thing with Miracle Mile shops. They're not part of Caesars.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they have that autonomy to really do whatever and say, let's do something completely different than the other Caesars properties.
Yes. Yeah. So if you're looking for something grab and go and something different, definitely head into the Miracle Mile shops and check out Miracle Eats. I'm sure they'll be having more and more eateries added to it as it progresses. Yep. And, of course, the nice thing about when you have grab and go places, you can go grab and grow, grab and grow.
Your belly grows.
True. Let me try that again. You can grab and go there. So you can go and grab a drink at the ABC stores, because there's 2 of them in the Miracle Mile shops. Again, we don't get paid by ABC stores.
Nobody pays us for anything on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, but we just want to say, like, you can get like inexpensive drinks there, and that's why we always talk about it, because it is literally the cheapest place in Vegas to grab a drink, and not just alcohol, like soda, water, juice, all of that good stuff. So that's right there, 2 of them in the Miracle Mile shops.
So this is interesting. I think it is, but I'm a nerd that finds this kind of stuff interesting. Somebody fell down in a casino on the Las Vegas Strip.
Which I can't imagine this is the first time somebody's fallen in a casino.
We've seen people fall down.
Yes, so sober and not so sober.
Yeah, and it must have been a pretty extensive injury, because a jury here in Vegas awarded the plaintiff $15 million, which is the largest personal injury lawsuit on the Strip. So that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I knew like the details of
well, they're
this.
Not gonna
I
share
know they're
that
not going to
stuff,
share
because
it.
you'll have how many people going throwing themselves in a lobby somewhere. It's like, call 911.
But it had to be really bad in order to earn yourself $15 million.
Oh, that's going to be extensive injuries.
Yeah.
Life altering.
So hopefully that person that, I'm sure like the $15 million is a nice compensation, but you have to think everything that they had to go through, that would warrant such a large settlement.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
normally we don't talk about that kind of stuff, but that is tremendous.
Yes. Yeah, so and we don't know what casino. They're probably like,
oh, they will never. That's it. It's gone already.
Yeah, they're probably tightening up the slot machines there
Oh, yeah.
to pay off that, so they don't want people to know. And in other kind of bummer news in Vegas, valet parking over at Caesars a couple weekends ago was $50 for valet parking.
Yes.
And we don't know. I'm sure that was event based because of it was wrestling weekend.
Yeah.
And that different events can inflate the parking prices. But even just general parking goes up weekdays
on weekends
to weekends.
Yeah.
So it keeps going up over the years.
Yeah.
And I mean, gone are the days of free parking, with the exception of, I think Sahara has free parking,
yeah.
Treasure Island, and Rio.
Rio has free parking as well.
Yeah.
I remember when Miracle Mile for Planet Hollywood was free parking as well.
Yeah, no, they got rid of that a couple years ago.
A few years, yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean, I know locals can get a couple hours free.
Yeah.
The Strat is free for Nevada residents.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple more that we're forgetting, but
yeah.
I mean, for the most part, there's no free parking if it's at a Caesars property or an MGM property. That's for sure.
And I'm going to speculate because I don't work for a casino, but we know that year over year, and this is all public information. You guys can go find that information. It's all public because they have to share numbers. But gambling revenue continues to decrease year over year. So these properties, their bills are the same, if not going up. So if there's less people gambling, these properties need to generate revenue. I mean, they're all corporations that are answering to stockholders.
Mm-hmm.
And stockholders want to see a profit. I want to see a return. I want to see gains on my profits. And they do anything they can to show those gains. I mean, it's corporate America on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not going to go back. I highly doubt that MGM is going to say, we're just going to do free parking because
we love you guys.
Yeah, we like you guys and want to give you a break. Absolutely not.
No,
that is never going to happen.
No, because they know that no matter what they do, no matter what they charge, people are still coming to Vegas. People are still locals and visitors. So
we did see numbers dip though in March.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
And that's not the first time. It's same as in February too.
February was down year over year as well. Yeah. And there's more casinos across the country where you don't have to get on a plane. You can just go locally, like in Tampa. There's the Hard Rock there that we have family members that go to, where they used to come to Vegas all the time. And as Vegas gets more expensive, their trips to Vegas are fewer. They come because we live here.
Yeah.
So they'll travel through to visit with us, but they go to their local casino. They go to the Hard Rock there in Tampa.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. The BetMGM app, the Caesars sportsbooks across the country. People are just staying local and not traveling. And as things like this, like $50 valet, that's just more of a deterrence for people to come to Vegas, more of a reason to not come here.
Good news. Getting into buffets here, there's a few little bit of rumors and social media floating around there about the Bacchanal buffet over at Caesars Palace closing. Not the case. They are very adamant that they are not going anywhere, and I don't know how they could. I mean, you've seen those lines.
Well, because there's no competition really for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're definitely one of
it's absolutely delicious, and in our opinion, I think, or maybe more mine, because I'm more of a buffet person than Chris, I think it's worth every penny. The quality of the food, the service,
it is. I mean,
the seafood, I think it's totally worth it.
And I've said this before, I'm not a huge buffet person, but I do like the Bacchanal buffet because there are so many fresh options.
Yeah.
It's not just, scoop of this, a scoop of that kind of a thing. They have a huge carving station. They have a huge seafood, sushi. So I like that. They have
the
just different
tacos, they look fresh.
Yeah, just different things that are fresh. So I think it is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely want to, do a little bit of fasting before that, and make that your meal for the day, and don't go to a show after because you'll just fall asleep in it. But
I think it's all relative though, because we've gone to dinner, just the two of us have gone to dinner and paid $150 something just for the two of us.
Yeah, that's
an appetizer, 2 entrees, a couple drinks, and our bill has been $150, and that's on the Strip. So $80 ish per person, depending on the day of the week and whether you're going lunch, dinner, etc. I think that's totally worth it for the just for all of the options and seafood, steaks, and prime rib, all that stuff, and then the dessert station as well, right?
Yeah, they have a great dessert station, and I'm not a huge sweet person, but I mean, I definitely had a plate the last time I was there. Like plate number 5 was desserts, so
yeah,
you have to try them. I mean, I don't know if I'm probably not the only person out there that just has to take a little bite of everything, but I don't know. For that price,
I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
Once in a while, we're not going to go eat a buffet every day.
No, we'd have to. We wouldn't fit in this shot.
Roll into the parking lot.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Great news. Glad you're staying. Bacchanal Buffet. Moving on. We talked a few weeks ago about this, that the Grand Prix Plaza that was going to be like a Formula One, like memorabilia kind of cool attraction.
Kind of like a racetrack.
Yeah. They were coming and it was going to open, and then they didn't open and they delayed it. But now they actually have set a date.
Yeah.
They're going to
They've
open.
had a date in the past.
Yes.
I'm not the pessimistic one in this relationship.
Yeah, it's usually me.
But they have set dates. This is the 3rd date that they're setting for an opening. So hopefully this is it.
Yeah, 3rd time's the charm.
Whoever's doing their social media is on it because it looks amazing.
Yeah, and so May 2nd, so that's this Friday, that's going to be open, and hopefully it's great. It's worth the wait. Let's hope it's worth the wait. That's what I'm trying to say.
One of the things that we love about Vegas is it's so diverse.
Yes.
And there's just people here from all over the world. Of course, it's a world-class destination, right?
Yeah.
And there was nothing here before it was here. And that was literally people coming from all over the world, building casinos and shops and restaurants and all the jobs that came along with that, the roads and the construction and really everything that helped creates a community.
Well, and along with that comes all the food.
Food!
Yes.
And you guys, if you guys come to Vegas regularly, Vegas is a foodie destination.
We're the culinary capital.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether you're looking for a hot dog or prime rib, you can find it somewhere.
And everything in between.
In Vegas.
I feel like there's a lot in between a hot dog and prime rib.
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point, right? And I love hot dogs and I do love prime rib too. So I'm happy either way. But there's a designated Filipino district, which is just east of the Strip. Now, that doesn't mean they're building anything. That's just, there's such a large concentration of Filipino businesses, and that's retail and restaurants and everything else.
Yeah, similar to Chinatown.
Like a Chinatown. This is the Filipino district. It's not Filipino town. Who knows, maybe that'll be the nickname. We're not trying to start anything here, but it's officially the Filipino district. So that's great to see that, because that's just more recognition of all of the different cultures, all the different people and ethnicities that make up the Las Vegas Valley. So great to see that.
Yeah, looking forward to checking it out. All right. We talked, I think, a few weeks ago, too, about the Vegas Loop. The Loop is Elon Musk's Boring Company. Years ago, they started this game plan in Vegas to do this whole underground system.
Can they call it like the underground people mover?
Yes, and that's what it does. It literally is underground, and it moves people from one destination. And it started, basically trying to get people around the convention center area in Teslas. And it's pretty cool. And they added, I think now, like Westgate, or not Westgate.
Sahara.
Resorts, I don't think Sahara's on there.
It's a Resorts World.
So Resorts World was one of the more recent ads. And now CWIN Encore is also added. So, they're definitely capitalizing on conventions at this point, because a lot of people stay at those, like the CWIN, Resorts World, that area for conventions. However, this is like a long term. This is going to be throughout the whole city as their goal.
Including downtown.
Downtown, Allegiant Stadium, the Sphere. Which would really be helpful as far as getting some of that traffic off of the roads.
Yeah, and I mean, the majority of the year, and I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I love 120 degrees. There's a lot of people that do not, though, and don't want to be walking around the Strip. So this is a great alternative to just moving around the Vegas Valley.
Well, it's great because of when we get heavy convention season in January, February, and trickles a little bit into March. The monorail does get so busy.
Yep.
The rideshare, surge pricing comes into effect.
Yep.
There's such a demand. And it's, of course, with those big events. Like, I mean, look at when Formula One was happening and you can't really drive on the roads.
It was crazy.
That would be another thing that would help during F1 times.
Well, and it's not going to slow down. I mean, the stadium is coming. The A's are coming to Vegas. That's all been approved. We talked about that last week. So there's going to be a lot of construction happening around that corner where that's already busy because you have MGM Grand right here. You've got Allegiant Stadium. You've got T-Mobile right over here. Michelob Ultra with the Aces over there at that arena. So there's already a lot of traffic in that area.
Yeah.
So throwing in a baseball stadium, a major league stadium right there, it's just gonna, and the roads aren't getting any wider.
No, there's no place to go. And I mean, there always is construction somewhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think
if you're a contractor and you're looking for a job, come to Vegas.
Or if you have an orange cone company.
If you have an orange cone company, this is a gold mine.
Right. Ugh. There's a business plan.
Better known as the Nevada State Flower.
Right. They're everywhere, all over. All right, moving on to downtown. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the downtown brand. It's kind of a little bit off of the Fremont Street experience, but definitely like walkable. I mean, it's like literally right off of there.
It's right across from Pizza Rock. You guys, I'm sure, have heard of Pizza Rock. It's a delicious pizza destination here in Vegas.
Was Hogs and Heifers?
Hogs and Heifers, right across the street. Also a popular spot.
Yeah, it's more of a boutique hotel property, small casino. Not a lot of things happening in there. It's it's kind of goes up and down. You know, for a while it was a little quiet and a little shady a little bit after COVID times, but then as picked up. We actually like going in there. It's a nice little break. We've stayed
there several times.
Yeah, they are pet friendly, so we have stayed downtown at the Downtown Grand a few times because we had Carlos with us. But it might not be the Downtown Grand for long.
So the word on the street is that Penske Media is looking at purchasing Downtown Grand. I don't know if it's going to be an outright sale for the property or if it's going to be some kind of licensing and lease agreement. But Penske Media actually owns the Life is Beautiful festival. And if you guys have been, if you live in Vegas or come through Vegas during that time, it's all downtown.
It's all downtown. Actually,
everywhere downtown.
It still kind of reaches out to even like Area 15 and stuff.
They have different events
primarily
throughout
downtown.
the valley, but it's in downtown. So what an awesome, smart opportunity for them to have a property, a headquarters essentially right downtown in the heart of this festival. So it's going to be the Rolling Stone property. Not Rolling Stone like music.
Rolling Stone Hotel
not
and
like
casino.
The band,
not
the
like
Rolling
the Stones.
Stones.
Yeah.
No, but Rolling Stone like the magazine. So Penske Media owns Rolling Stone also. So it would be like Rolling Stone something.
Hotel and casino, likely.
Hotel and casino? That's so boring.
Yeah.
Get more exciting than that. Come on, guys. Get creative. But that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I mean, and this is, again, all just in the talks right now. So, that from what we've seen, that does not happen quickly. There's talks about it, and then
approvals and licenses have to change hands.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, we're probably looking at years from now before this would actually take place.
I feel like they have the money to make that process move a little bit faster.
Yeah, we'll see. So that it could be a nice, cool addition to downtown.
So the 2025, and I'm looking here at the screen because I don't want to mispronounce it, even though I'm probably going to mispronounce it. So let me know. The CONCACAF. So CONCACAF, and I'm sure that's an acronym for something.
Say it 5 times fast. CONCACAF.
I'm sure it's an acronym for something. You guys help us out. It's a massive soccer event that's happening over at Allegiant Stadium. It's a Gold Cup match, and it's a doubleheader. So this is going to be an all-day event down there at Allegiant Stadium. And you've got Mexico versus Costa Rica and Saudi Arabia and Trinidad and Tobago. One ticket gets you both games. So that's going to be huge for you soccer fans out there. Looking to just do all day at Allegiant Stadium and probably wrap that one day around a vacation here in Vegas. Tickets are on sale now, even though these games are not happening until June 22nd.
Yeah. And some other things that have been announced that are not happening this week in Vegas, but tickets are on sale this week in Vegas. We're going to get into those. The band Garbage from the 90s brings you back a little bit, right? They are having their Happy Endings tour. The show is going to be coming to the Chelsea Theater at the Cosmopolitan, and that's going to be October 31st, Halloween. And again, tickets are on sale now. Fortune Feinster, who is hilarious.
She was the Uber driver from Office Christmas Party.
Yes, and she does a lot of stand-up. Her stand-up's great. She announced that she's going to be at the Palazzo Theater over at the Venetian. That's going to be on June 14th. Again, tickets are currently on sale. John Mulaney, he is another funny comedian. He's going to be over at Dolby Live. That's not going to be until October 11th, but tickets are on sale. There's also going to be a farewell concert by, I hope I'm saying this right, Cello. I know I'm not, it's...
Let's see.
Cello and other musicians to celebrate Mexican Independence Day. That's going to be at PH Live over in the Miracle Mile shops at Planet Hollywood. And that's going to be, of course, in September, on September 13th, but tickets are on sale now. And Stevie Nicks has announced that she's coming to Vegas to T-Mobile. That's going to be on October 11th as well. So if you're a Stevie Nicks fan and a John Mulaney fan, you're going to have to make a decision. And last up, Dita Von Teese, who does have a residency at the Venetian, is extending this residency into October.
Yes.
So she actually had started a residency at Horseshoe,
yeah.
And then that ended, and then
Yeah.
she went on down the street to the Venetian.
Well, I think it was still Bally's, and she kind of carried over into the Horseshoe transformation, and then no more.
Could be.
Went down the street.
Could be, because that Bally's to Horseshoe was such a blur because it was such a long
There
process.
was no like stop start. It was
Yeah.
just kind of happening.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it was like, I'm called Horseshoe, but there's Bally's signs up.
Yeah,
The rooms look the same, still look the same.
but the carpet in the casino's different.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so
but it's still a great property. I love Horseshoe.
yeah, me too. All right, let's get into some jackpots.
Well, we talked about a lot of people not winning on slot machines, and I think I know why. Because everybody's winning on the Pai Gow tables, except for us.
Yes.
But that's a whole nother story. You guys don't want to hear that now. Let's start with Caesar's Palace. This is the big one. Some anonymous player won a $2.9 million jackpot.
Amazing.
They were dealt, because you don't ask for more cards, you don't exchange anything in Pai Gow. It's just what you're dealt. You play the hand that you get. They were dealt a 7-card straight flush, won $2.9 million on the progressive jackpot. Their side bet for the fortune bonus was only $10.
Wow.
If they didn't put that $10 there, they would not have won that jackpot. So always play the bonus when you're playing Pai Gow.
Wow. So that's not the only Pai Gow jackpot, though.
No, the Pai Gow gods were also over at Palms, where somebody won another 7-card straight flush, $897,000.
Gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. But
I
wait.
take either one of those.
Oh, wait. There's more.
There's more. A Hawaii visitor won $437,000 playing Pai Gow over at Sunset Station in Henderson.
Wow. So
Huge.
Pai Gow is the game to
That
play.
was the theme.
Unless you're a Texas Hold'em fan, because over at South Point, somebody won playing Texas Hold'em. They won $72,570.
I would still not feel bad.
Yeah, I mean,
I would feel bad at all.
it's so funny. It sounds so little in comparison to what we just talked about, but that's a nice jackpot. I would
Absolutely.
take that home.
All day.
Yes.
Twice on Sundays.
Yes, yes. And last but not least, there was just this tiny little jackpot on a slot machine.
So somebody did win on a slot machine.
Yeah.
However, it was not on the Strip. Over at Virgin Hotels, right down the road down there by Hofbrau, somebody won $1.5 million on a slot machine. And that's all the information that's been released.
Yeah, that slot machine has a out of order sign on it
It's in a hole in the desert or in the middle of Lake Mead.
Right. They're like, get that thing out of there. All right. Unfortunately, I love talking about winners, but unfortunately, we can't add our names to that list. We were recently in Vegas to do a little staycation at Harrah's. We stayed for 2 nights. And we had some work to do for the show and for social media things that we were working on. And also, it was
Fun.
a 5 times tier credit multiplier. Oh, yeah, and fun. I mean, I feel like you don't have to say that. I mean, Vegas is always just fun. So we were earning those tier credits because we are trying to, get Diamond Plus status again, although sometimes I wonder why.
It's a separate conversation.
But we were kind of up and down
Over
throughout
the
our
3
time.
days, though, we were there for 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days, and we did gamble. We only lost, and I include tipping in, because this is just cash.
Yeah.
We went with $500 cash for 3 days, and we left with about $255. So that's gambling, tipping, that's everywhere that we would have spent cash.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's not too shabby. We earned a ton of tier credits. Because
which was the goal.
Those $250, they held us down for 3 days. We'd be up, we'd win $150 and then lose 40 on the next one, win 20 over here, lose 100. So it was kind of, I mean, overall, the house always wins.
Yeah.
And we've always said, whatever you take to Vegas, you expect to lose that in Vegas. So the expectation should be, whatever you take is what you can just lose. Yes. So we didn't lose everything. We lost only about half, again, with tips included in that. Yep. And we tip generously when we're drinking. So that's not too bad. That was a win, and we had a great time.
Yeah, we did have a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we did not get any good answers for those 4 free drinks that you get when you're Diamond Plus. That kind of just ended in...
We don't know.
In March. Like, we were shocked in March, and then, nobody knew really like how they measure that. And again, still we can't get any answers on how that works. What it's just based on your gambling from the month before, but they can't tell you how many like tier credits or what they base that on or how many days of play. So it's just kind of weird. So, if you are Diamond Plus and you enjoy those free drinks, just make sure you go to the rewards desk and ask, if you've got those drinks on your card. So you don't go order the drinks, drink the drinks as you're waiting, and they're like, oh wait, you don't have any. So you have to pay for those, what you thought were free drinks. Yeah. And yes, you do get free drinks when you're gambling, but this was just one of those
minor
extra perks that we enjoyed as Diamond Plus. So yes. And speaking of other drinks, we did go to the pool at Harrah's.
Well, it was such a beautiful day.
It was such a beautiful day, and it was like that great combination where it was a beautiful day but not a crowded pool. So we did, just have to suck it up and bought a bucket of 6 high noons for almost $84 before tip, which is just ridiculous because it almost doubled in price from 2 years ago. So
yes, 100% increase.
Yeah, so those expensive drink prices at the pool are still happening for Caesars property. We haven't been to an MGM pool yet this year, so we can't speak to that.
But we will.
Yeah.
And we'll report back with what that looks like.
Yeah. But aside from those little minor inconveniences, we had a great time. We spent a lot of time in the Link Promenade and just kind of all throughout that area of Harrah's, the Link, Flamingo, Cromwell, and
we stepped across the street to Caesars.
Yeah.
We went downtown, Symphony Park area, had dinner at Vic's. We had some work to do down there, so we had dinner while we were down there.
Which
we
is
had
fun.
A busy 3 days.
Yeah, and Vic's has...
we went to the Strat also. We ate at PT's Wings and Sport.
Yeah.
Did some gambling. We had an interview with Terry Fader for the TV show, so tune in if you watch our television show. Very busy 3 days.
Yeah, it was. We were very busy. The properties overall it wasn't very busy though overall throughout the different properties. But it was midweek, so that always kind of has a impact on how busy it's going to be.
It's always a little bit less busy. We were there Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah, I would say the busiest area was the Link Promenade, and that's
it was so
because
perfect to be outside.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. Everybody outside just taking a break from the casinos and enjoying this. Like the Link area, the Link Promenade area is just a great people watching area. There's a lot of great restaurants and retail in there. And then there's actually attractions there. And we've brought this up before, but I want to bring it up again. There is a thing called the Ultimate Polar Passport where you can get entry and re-entry into all 3 -5 ice bars. There's one in the Link Promenade. There's one at the Venetian and the Grand Canal Shops and at Mandalay Bay. All 3 of those over 5 days, you can go in as many times as you'd like.
And you can go to all 3 every day.
Yeah.
You can go Mandalay Bay, then hit up Lake Promenade, and then go over to Venetian.
Yeah. However you want to do it.
However you wanted to do
it.
They
give you, 3 drinks, your fur coats included, some other little things that they throw in there.
20% off of daiquiris for like 5 days or something.
Yep. And that's just the -5 part of this deal. You also get access into The immersive experience right next door in the Link Promenade to that ice bar is Dreambox 360. You get access to that, as well as access to the High Roller,
which is like $35 by itself.
Yeah, so this is a great deal in itself. And so if you go onto their website, on -5's website, and you book the Ultimate Polar Passport, if that's something of interest to you, make sure you put in code NIC15 so you can save 15%. Now, they don't pay us anything for social media.
Nobody pays us for social media.
This is a partnership we have with them, but we love being able to help save people money, and this is a way we can help you guys save money. So use that code NIC15 if you're interested in taking advantage of the Ultimate Polar Passport. When we were there, you know, a lot of you guys might be like wondering, why did you stay at Harrah's? You just stayed there recently.
We love Harrah's.
We do love Harrah's. The rooms are, you know, recently renovated. The casino's a lot of fun. Of course, the piano bar, you have all the entertainment happening there. And it's a great location. We did want to stay actually though at Flamingo, but we did not stay there. And only reason we didn't stay there is because the Go Pool is not finished yet. Not even close, but we did go check it out while we were there, and it's not looking good. I mean, they were shooting for March 17th as an opening date, and then
April 11th was the next date. But they set firm dates. Like you could go to their website and could have reserved a cabana or a day bed for those dates, like up until that date and after that date. But they're not even close. I think it's like highly, highly unlikely that they will even be open this pool season.
Yeah, it's a construction zone. It's a mess. It's all dirt. It's nowhere near, like, in my opinion, where they would be opening anytime soon. But no. We'll see. The family pool is open, but knowing that everybody in that big pool complex is kind of now just contained to the smaller family pool, you know it's going to be crowded there.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you are staying at Flamingo in the near future, heads up to that the Go Pool may, or most likely, will not be open. Yeah. And you do have access though to the other sister pools, like over at the Link or Harrah's, probably down Horseshoe, Paris. I think the only one probably not access to would be
Caesars. You have to
yeah.
stay at the property.
Yeah, yeah. But overall, we had just an awesome time. I mean, how can you not? It's Vegas, right? We just had a great time, and we just really appreciated everybody who came up and said hi and introduced themselves.
We're not going to call anybody out because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yes, but it's just really nice.
We do know people that take trips to Vegas and don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
They just go to Vegas. We know those people, which is why we don't want to call anybody out.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for saying hello, letting us know where you're from, supporting our channel. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yes. So thank you guys. I hope you guys all had a great time
and won some big bucks.
Yes. Yes.
Because we did not.
No, I know.
Wait, we had a great time. We just didn't win the big bucks.
Yes, yeah. Okay. All right, let's get into weather. This is what you can expect this week in Vegas when it comes to weather. We're still in that sweet spot with April going into May. We've got anything pretty much from up like into the mid 70s up into like the low 90s even. So just that really nice, like I think perfect temperatures for Vegas. And then, of course, it still does cool off overnight, but not as bad. You're getting into the upper 50s, mid 60s. So you still want to have those light jackets. And yes, we're still in allergy season. So if you suffer from allergies, make sure you're taking your allergy medication. But this is the time to enjoy those outside patios, get in those outdoor areas. And if you're getting off the strip to do some hiking, it's just perfect temperatures in the morning.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, guys, let's get into events. Now, these are some of the bigger events, or I shouldn't say bigger, just folks that aren't here all the time. Because I think like Carrot Top is a pretty big deal. He's super famous, so nice, and he's here all the time. You can always watch him. The Search shows, of course, are always here, amazingly talented. These are just folks that are just typically not in town that are going to be here this weekend, along with some other events that are happening this week. Let's start with the Pretenders over at the CWIN on May 1st.
And then we have Sammy Hagar starting his residency at Dolby Live over at Park MGM. That's going to be on the 30th as well as the 2nd and 3rd.
J Balvin over at Michelob Ultra Arena. That's over at Mandalay Bay. That's going to be on May 3rd.
And then we have B Slade at Westgate on the 3rd as well.
Post Malone and Jelly Roll coming together, which they're both huge in their own right.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a massive, massive event over at Allegiant Stadium, and that's going to be on the 3rd. So expect there to just be a cluster down there.
Oh, for sure. With everything happening at the different venues in the area, expect delays with rideshare and expensive surge pricing. Yeah, that always happens when there's all these big events going on. Then there's a lot of comedians coming to town this weekend. You've got Matt Rife at MGM Grand Garden Arena. He's going to be there on the 2nd. Jerry
Seinfeld coming back to the Coliseum at Caesars Palace over on the 2nd and 3rd of May.
And then over at the CWIN, there's Jimmy O. Yang. He's going to be there on the 2nd and 3rd.
Jim Jeffries over at the Venetian on the 2nd and 3rd.
And then Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are back at Resorts World Las Vegas on the 3rd.
We got some sports happening in town also. There are still some people out there that don't know we have a minor league baseball team. All of the talk is about the A's coming to town, but the Las Vegas Aviators have been here for a long time.
Which they're the minor league team for the A's.
And one of their players just got called up to the A's. So really great team. And this is out in Summerlin at the Las Vegas ballpark. If you look it up, and the reason I say Summerlin, it's because it's adjacent to downtown Summerlin, right across the street from Red Rock Casino, which is a beautiful property.
Yeah.
It's a Stations property. So you can really make a whole day of it out there. There's retail, there's dining, there's the gambling, of course, at the casino. The Red Rock has an amazing pool, and then you have the ballpark right there, which is a beautiful ballpark too. It's only a few years old.
Yeah.
Really nice. You can make a whole day of it out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So the Aviators are going to be here on the 29th, as well as May 1st through 4th.
We've got some boxing. We've got Inouye versus Cardenas over at T-Mobile Arena, and that's going to be on May 4th.
Then this next one is kind of an interesting one.
It is Vegas.
It is Vegas.
I feel like the bar is very high.
This is kind of proof in Vegas that there's literally something for everyone.
If this is you, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, right. So this is an immersive yoga experience over at Illuminarium. Now, Illuminarium, if you're not familiar, is over at Area 15, but it's its own standalone building. They have an indoor-outdoor restaurant there, and it's this big immersive experience. They have different experiences, like a safari one where you feel like you're walking through the a safari.
I've never been on a safari.
Yeah.
The Bronx Zoo is the extent of my safari experience.
Yeah, but and then they have just really like a planet one. They do football, yeah. And then they just have different like nightlife. It's more family friendly in the day, kid friendly in the day, and then kind of a little more adult friendly in the evenings. And they have different like theme things throughout the year as well. So this one is by far the most unique one I've heard of so far. This is immersive yoga. It's going to be Star Wars themed. And of course, I mean, if you haven't guessed already when it's going to be on May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Yes. So if you love yoga, you love immersive experiences, you love Star Wars, and you're going to be here on May 4th.
That's 4 things on somebody's list. I know that at least one person out there has these 4 items on their list.
Yes. So that is happening on May 4th. Go to Illuminarium, to their website for more information on that.
There's probably going to be a ton of people coming to get married on that day in Vegas too.
You know, it is a big day, and they do theme weddings like that. They do like, I mean, you however you want to get married, you can get married, but they do Star Wars themed weddings for sure. That I know. Yeah. Yeah. So
why would not?
Yeah.
Come on.
And then last but not least on the list, it's celebrating Cinco de Mayo all weekend. The 3rd, 4th, and of course on the 5th, down on the Fremont Street Experience. So expect it to be busy and festive down there.
Yeah. And then on the 6th and on the 7th, on the 8th, the 9th, on the 10th.
Well, not for Cinco de Mayo, but just for Fremont Street Experience in general. It never stops down there.
The party never stops on Fremont Street. We just sprinkle a theme here and there throughout the year. But it's going to be a great time, especially the weather is just so perfect to be outside, especially in the Fremont area where you're just walking all day long from one end to the other.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes. But that is it for this podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and supporting our channel. If you guys are planning any trips to Vegas, feel free to reach out to us either through the comments below, Instagram or Facebook, with any questions you have about Vegas. We are happy to talk Vegas. We love talking Vegas.
And what we do.
Yes, yeah. We know this city like it's our job because it is our job. We do a lot about Vegas. We write about it. We have a TV show about Vegas. We have this podcast. We have our YouTube channel. And we live in Vegas because we love it. So,
hey, are we ambassadors? I'm going to appoint us as ambassadors.
I want a key to the city. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to this podcast.
Don't forget to subscribe. You made it this far. As agonizing as that was, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe. You might as well do that since you made it to the end here. All we do is bring you Vegas. I mean, we're doing hotel reviews, food, experiences, shows, pools, sports, really everything going on in Vegas.
Updates. We do a lot of updates of things going on because we spend a lot of time in this city. And so we love to share that information with you guys.
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching this one. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.